Welcome to The Topic. I'm Todd Duplantis. This is a program where we highlight Houston Community College, our students, our programs, and our reach into the community. Thanks for joining us. We're usually live every Tuesday, most Tuesdays, I should say, at 1 p.m. on Facebook Live and YouTube, where you're watching this right now. You can also watch the rebroadcast of our show on HCC TV. Check your cable provider for that. And you can follow us in social media as Houston Community College District. We're across all platforms. Today, we're talking about our online offerings. During the COVID pandemic, many students took their first online college course, but in reality, HCC has had a robust online presence for years. We're joined right now by the president of our online college, Dr. Margaret Ford Fisher joins us. Good afternoon, Dr. Ford Fisher. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
It's good to see you once again. We've talked about this several times before, but we're glad to have you on the show. I guess it wouldn't be a surprise to you when we went into this pandemic because you guys were prepared and already offering online. But I want to ask you, maybe you can give us a little bit of history of the online college, where it was and how it's flourished really over the last couple of years.
Well, this is really a great time to be an educator and to be involved in educating the masses because online really creates a marvelous opportunity for the residents of our community to get an education. And HCC provides all of the excellent faculty support, the tools, and all of everything else that's needed to ensure that our students succeed. And so with respect to the history, yes, of course, we had offered online courses for a number of years, Todd. Discrete courses. But One of the things that we wanted to do was to ensure that we would make it easy for all of our students and our prospective students to see what is available online. And so we packaged those programs. We worked closely with our faculty to ensure that all of the great work that they had done, that they agreed with the packaging of those programs. We developed a rubric. And of course, with our excellent online team members, it has really been an easy transition for our students, as well as for some of our faculty members who were not already teaching online. And it's interesting that now that so many of our faculty members who were a little bit reluctant initially to teach online, they just want to stay online.
Yeah.
They are not as excited about going back to campus because they've learned how to use our learning management system. They are comfortable with all of the access privileges that our students will have. So as we look at our position at this particular point in time, we have created a format for all of our students and all of our residents who are interested in enrolling on online courses to have access to them.
Let me ask you this. Faculty is getting used to the online thing, but what are the demographics of your students and have they changed some since the pandemic started? Are you seeing a lot more people are more open to wanting to do online learning?
Well, it's really very interesting because as we look at the demographics, once students had to pivot to remote learning, many of the students immediately were thrust into online courses. And so that included the entire population of students who wanted to enroll. But typically we focus on that population that, according to our data, we're looking at the working adults. We're looking at students who are homebound or those who are homeschooled. Many home school students enrolled with us previously, prior to the pandemic. And then, of course, we have dual credit students as well. Many students like taking the hybrid courses, right, which would include both those that are online and then on campus. And we realize that there will always be a need for on-campus courses because some students will just simply prefer that to be in that classroom. But what is so interesting is this, that with the online offerings that we deliver, we make engaging students so easy now that they're able to have that on-campus experience in an online course. And our faculty members are so advanced now in their understanding of how to use the learning management system that many of them are mentoring some of the new faculty members who are just becoming more and more acquainted with it. So that is working extraordinarily well. But with the working adult particularly, online offerings provide a marvelous opportunity for them because they're able to keep their jobs, they're able to support their families, but they're also able to work toward a certificate or degree to advance in their careers or their professions.
I know recently we had you on our other live show, Up to the Minute, to talk about a recognition that the online college got from Newsweek. So maybe you can tell us about that. That's some great news.
Well, it is great news. And I thank you so very much for your support and for sharing this great information with your viewers and with our faculty and staff members as well, because they need to celebrate this because much of this success is due to the work that they have done. But Newsweek has designated HCC Online as one of America's best online colleges. There were 150 colleges and universities that were selected, largely universities. But HCC Online also is a part of that esteemed category of institutions that are considered the best. And so I must say to you that I cannot congratulate the members of the team enough for the work that has been done. And I think it would be really a missed opportunity to also acknowledge all of the online team members who've worked with the faculty, who've worked with the students. So we have the enrollment assistants who assist. We have our advisors, our counselors, the tutors who work with the students. And this is really critically important because so many of our students require that tutorial assistance. Online provides that, not just for the online students, but for all students who come to the online college for that support. So that works extraordinarily well for us. And I have to also acknowledge HCC TV, I have to acknowledge the communications department as well, and all of the members of the HCC team, because you've provided that opportunity for us to tell our story, to reach out to the community, to ensure that everyone is aware of what we offer at HCC, the quality that is provided, and then to have an opportunity to hear from our excellent faculty members and staff members with respect to all of the great work that is taking place in the classrooms.
We've got about a minute and a half left, but I know we want to give you a chance to give a message to the community. What would it be? You know, we've got the Newsweek recognition. We've been doing this for a while. What would you tell the community about our online college?
Well, I would like to tell the community that HCC Online College has everything that a student needs to achieve success. Irrespective of whether or not you are an adult education student, ESL student, whether or not you've been out of school for a while, whether or not you have a certificate or you have a degree and you want to come back for additional retooling, additional training, HCC provides that. But in addition to that, HCC being fully online for over 60 degree programs, we can provide that for you so that you can maintain your employment. But we also have partnerships with 4-year institutions, with universities that will allow you to continue fully online to complete a baccalaureate degree. So HCC is here. We want to support you. We want to ensure that whatever your dreams and your aspirations are for furthering your career opportunities, that we are here and we're eager to support you. One final comment is that we have a website, hccs.edu/online. Right. And we also have a telephone number, 713-718-5275. We are here and we want to work with you and help to make your dreams come true educationally.
And we'll have those links in our social media posts for the show after we complete it. Dr. Margaret Ford Fisher, the president of our online college, we appreciate you being here with us live on the topic this afternoon.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Ford Fisher. When we return, we're going to take a short break. When we return, we'll look at how academic courses are taught online. The topic returns in 60 seconds.
Sometimes what you need just shows up. Houston Community College has your back, whether you're knocking out some basics or upping your game for a better job. Enroll today for spring classes and frame your future with HCC.
For more than a year, we have kept you informed with more than 500 remote episodes. But now we're back, bigger and better, with more news and more guests. Join us live every weekday at 10 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube, and on HCC TV at noon and 5 p.m. You can watch from anywhere. We go where you go.
Welcome back to the topic. We are live this Tuesday afternoon. Just about every Tuesday, you can catch us live at 1 p.m. on Facebook Live and, of course, YouTube. And you can watch the rebroadcast of our show on HCC TV. Check your listings for that. You know, we're talking about our online college and our online offerings. Over the spring break of 2020, HCC moved instruction completely online. Experienced online instructors mentored their other colleagues, some of them novices to the online instruction, and everyone found new ways of teaching. We're going to hear all about that. Camisha Broussard joins us now. She's a professor of English. Good afternoon to you, Camisha.
Good afternoon, Todd. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so things changed for all of us back in March of 2020 and just starting to get back to normal right now. But let me ask you this. What was that first initial thought when we went away for spring break? And what were some of the discussions that were going around with the faculty? You know, what we're going to go online. We're not, you know, we're going to return at the end of April. It was so much uncertainty. But one thing we did is you guys were able to get everything online and start teaching.
Yeah, there was a lot of uncertainty, but there was also a lot of support in almost every department where I talked to instructors and colleagues. We were all ready to do whatever we needed to do. We just needed to understand and hear what that was. There was a lot of rallying around people, gathering people who had already been familiar with the LMS system. Right. And those people were kind of it was a call to arms. And hey, what do you know? What do you know? And we were all just getting ready to support our colleagues in whatever way we could to make sure that the students had a great experience.
Let's talk about, in creating an online course, the importance of purposeful design. Tell us about that.
It is very important. It is very important because when the student first accesses their online shell, that first impression, there's nowhere else where that saying that the first impression makes sure that it lasts and it's important. There is no other area I can think of that rings more true than an online course. When a student logs on for the first time and they see the structure, the design, they can access the materials. That impression, that ease of accessing information is fundamental for the student experience. Right. And within that first login, you can lose a student completely for the semester. Even if they'll hang in there, they can still be a little checked out. Or you can engage that student and get them excited about the learning, get them excited about logging in. And in many cases, even eliminate that intimidation element that we sometimes see when people are very, very new to online learning. Right. The purposeful design it's everything.
Did you find the students were more open? I know we have two types of online courses. Online anytime, where you can literally watch it anytime and take the course, but the online on a schedule. Did you notice any preference with students with maybe the online on a schedule, wanting to interact with classmates and the instructor?
I did. What was interesting was that I had the opportunity to have students that were online on a schedule one semester, and then came and returned to be with me, but they were online anytime. Mm-hmm. And what I received from those students, the online anytime students, was they really missed the interaction of the online with the schedule. And ironically, the students who were online anytime sometimes had a struggle with meeting that schedule, that expectation. So they wish they were online anytime. It's one of those things where, you want it and you think that you want what the other person has, but then you find out you don't.
Right.
And that's what these students were going through. So there were perks, there were pros and cons for each student. And what I noticed was that life got in the way most of the times. But for the students who were able to come in on time and on schedule, they loved the interaction. But for the students where life kept them busy, that online anytime really worked for them. And just to be able to have access to an instructor was all they needed.
Obviously, COVID changed everybody's impression of online learning and online teaching. Do you feel the faculty now, you've got a year and a half of this under your belt, with the experience. Do you feel the faculty's feeling much more comfortable doing this now?
Yes, very comfortable. A lot of faculty members that were intimidated and scared to start online learning, they really enjoy it. They see how limitless it is, and they see how many opportunities there are to really engage students on a very, very different level. So as we kind of come into this new norm, I'm talking to a lot of instructors who want to stay, like Dr. Ford Fisher said, they want to stay online. And we're trying to find out how we can kind of do both, do a hybrid of both.
Do you see that being, I hate the new normal because we don't know what the new normal is going to be. It changes daily, it seems like, but do you see having that hybrid schedule for both the instructors and the students? Do you see that being the way we're going to be moving forward now on?
It'll be very interesting. You can't satisfy everyone all the time. I think that HCC, especially our online courses and our instructors, we do our best to make as much available to students as possible, but everyone is different. So I think that as we move forward, we're going to probably see students express more preference of us as instructors to be flexible in their scheduling. And I'm interested to know how we're going to respond to that, because now we have all the tools at our disposal.
Yeah, it seems like, when I talk to students, it's all a personal preference. You mentioned earlier about students who work during the day, who may not be able to make it to courses. My daughter is at University of Houston. Of course, she's been studying online. She prefers the type of courses where it's online anytime. Because she may be taking her course. I'll say, what time do you do the course? She says, maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, and that's her preference. So really it's kind of mix and matching what works best for the students, but also from what you're saying, the instructors too.
Absolutely. One of the things that I'm really proud of is our team is very flexible when it comes to student needs. And people say that you can't meet everyone's needs. But our faculty, we really try. We try to meet each individual student's needs. And that is the focus, because we understand that there are so many different demands out there. And like your daughter, I see students who log in at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. And if a student can log in at 1 or 2 to complete an assignment, I can be there for them when they need to talk. Yeah. So we do have that ability to be flexible. And some of us will be flexible with boundaries, I'm sure. But to be there for the student is the most important thing. And we know and we recognize and we've learned that means something completely different than it used to mean years ago.
Camisha Broussard, Professor of English, we appreciate you joining us this afternoon live on the topic. Take care and stay safe.
Thank you, Todd. You too.
All right. When we return, we're going to learn about workforce programs online. Yeah, we got them. We're HCC. We're going to be back with the topic right after this in about 60 seconds.
Sometimes what you need just shows up. Houston Community College has your back, whether you're knocking out some basics or upping your game for a better job. Enroll today for spring classes and frame your future with HCC.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows? Maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
Welcome back to The Topic. We're live this Tuesday afternoon on Facebook and YouTube. We appreciate you watching us. Make sure you find us in social media. Find us as Houston Community College District. Make sure you like us, share us. You know the routine. You can also watch the rebroadcast of this show. Of course, we're live every Tuesday at 1 p.m., but the rebroadcast can be found on HCC TV. We're talking about online offerings here at Houston Community College, and we've been talking about our online college. We've been hearing a lot about the business press about the gap between employers with jobs to fill and people in need of the jobs. HCC bridges the gap with workforce programs, many that can be completed partially or completely online. We're joined by two Business Technology Center of Excellence faculty, Rita Punch-Lagard, a professor for the Human Resources PeopleSoft Specialization Certificate Program, and also Loris Bradshaw, who teaches in the Medical Office Specialist Program. Good afternoon to both of you. Thanks for being here.
Good afternoon, Todd. Thank you for having us.
Rita, I'll start with you. One thing I heard during the pandemic was that the workforce students really wanted to get back to some face-to-face. But it seems like with your program and the other one, it lends itself well to maybe a hybrid program. How is it working with online and getting the students face-to-face as well?
Well, it's been working well. The PeopleSoft program does need the student to come in to do the hybrid piece, which is the face-to-face of getting online and logging onto the PeopleSoft system. But it's also been working really well with them online on any time to get the work done. So the mix of both is really the best for the PeopleSoft program. And so it's been working out really well to have the hybrid piece of them coming in to work online on the computer, and then also online to discuss some of the PeopleSoft concepts. So it's been working very well.
Loris, I'm going to ask you a similar question. I know a lot of our workforce programs involve the students working in the field, in the office. With the Medical Office Specialist Program, are the students allowed to do that? And then do they do it remotely, hybrid? How does that work?
Well, with the Medical Office Specialist Program, this program can be taken completely online. However, we do have classes that are taught in the brick and mortar. But the students have the ability to be able to grasp the concepts of being in a medical office. And the beauty of this is that through this program, students will learn multiple skills that they can perform for other offices. So as a result, they learn how to manage a medical office and acquire skills that can be applied in other settings.
And I'll go back to you, Rita. How is teaching online different now and than teaching in person? Are you learning to do things differently now when you're talking to students through more or less a laptop as opposed to seeing them in person?
Well, yes. I mean, it's been a little change in that. But the biggest thing is, we miss the interaction with, seeing a student in person, but using the tools from the WebEx and video streaming, screenshots, just being innovative and thinking of new things, how to reach the student and deliver the information has been amazing. So one of the things I try to do is put together a short video of the class assignments, and also do screenshots to make sure they can go back and look at those. And then also record my WebEx meetings, just so they can go back and revisit the topics and the discussions that we talked about on the online on schedule portion of the course. So it's been working really well to be innovative and creative at this time.
Loris, let me ask you this. For people who are looking to get into teaching now, obviously the online thing is not going anywhere, what advice would you give to incoming faculty who may be a little worried about teaching online, or not thinking it's a little uneasy about it getting started?
That's an excellent question. When I first began teaching online, it was a little struggle, but through training and preparation, it's doable. So in order for a incoming faculty to adjust to this, they have to they need to maximize the advantages of online teaching, while at the same time minimizing the risk that would be associated with the weakness of teaching online. And online faculty members should consider their skills that they currently have and know the skills that are necessary for online instruction, be very familiar with the curriculum, the technology, as well as the students.
And I'll ask you the same thing, Rita. What would be your advice?
Well, my advice would be to definitely go through the online training program for full-time and adjunct faculty. Make sure they understand the learning platform of the LMS system. Also, reach out and have a mentor, someone that teaches kind of the same courses you teach, that can kind of mentor you through navigating through the system, through the course, and making sure you understand the online components. But I would start with going through the online training academy, making sure you understand the LMS system so it can be an easy transition of going into the online environment.
You know, it's hard to believe 2021 is almost behind us. We're looking at spring 2022, and registration is already underway here at HCC. Loris, for your program, can people still register and get in for the spring?
Yes, registration is still ongoing, and there's still time for them to get into the classes for the spring.
And is there funding available to help pay for the tuition as well?
Yes, students could apply at the HCC Foundation for funding if they need to have funds for going to class.
Okay. So funding's available. Rita, can people still register for the spring for your program?
Yes, they can. Ongoing registration is going on right now. And they can also make sure their financial aid is in order. And as Laura stated, check with the foundation to see if there's any scholarships and any additional funding available. But we are accepting registration right now, and they can also contact our department if they have any questions on any of our programs. They sure can.
Thank you both for being here and bringing us up to date with both your programs. Thank you both.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having us.
And thank you all for joining us here on the topic. If you're interested in those two programs, we'll put some links in our social media posts where you can get more information. Also, remember, registration is underway here at HCC for spring 2022. Can you believe that? Go to hccs.edu/now for all your registration needs. That'll wrap up this week's live edition of The Topic. I'm Todd Duplantis. We'll see you next Tuesday at 1 p.m. right here.